Namaste to all. I hope everybody is in good state of health and observing the physical distance in society. I am Dr. Rupali Panse from India and now a resident of Orlando, Florida. I am in this video to share some Ayurveda wisdom with you all. This is so strange that we human has achieved almost everything that seemed impossible some decades ago. We literally achieved everything with the help of technology. We even started believing that we are the super species of this planet. But no, nature is still the game changer when its alarms are ignored and its forbidden boundaries are trespassed. And this time, this tiny, notorious, novel virus has made all mankind helpless. Though we have all the information handy, the technology in pocket and the giant pharmas at service, we are still helpless because this time this virus has targeted the vital point of health and medicine industry. We are non-immune to this virus. We don't have vaccine against this virus. We don't have bullseye medicine or any antiviral yet. This is why we are helpless. So is there anything left to hold upon in this havoc? Fortunately, yes, we do have one thing left, that too within each and everybody. Yes, that is immunity. So immunity is the thing that we should hold upon. Unfortunately, we haven't, we always underestimated, we always neglected, and we didn't even think to invest in the immunity properly till today. But fortunately, we came to know the importance of immunity and epidemics and these infectious diseases. The role of immunity now we realized how important the role of immunity in combating the diseases. So the whole world is looking towards the Ayurveda and immunity thing today. How the Ayurveda diet, Ayurveda lifestyles, various home remedies, various magical diet regimes, lifestyle regimes can help improve the immunity the whole world is looking from. From this video series, my try is to let all people know A to Z immunity and Ayurveda things. So in this first episode of this video, let us know about what exactly immunity is all about. We are learning from the school days that yes, immunity is the resistance power or the combat system against the diseases and pathogen. So immunity basically are of two types. Some of you must be know these things, and for some this must be new thing. So the first type of immunity is innate immunity, or we can in simple language we can say natural immunity. This innate or natural immunity is present in the body since the life begins, since the time of birth. So it is naturally exist in body in integrity with all cells to combat naturally with any pathogen. That's why it is called as non-specific immunity, because innate immunity is able to combat many types of pathogen, many types of viruses, bacteria, parasite, fungal infections, etc. So this immunity basically is like ninja, is like mutant ninja, and ready to combat at any hour, at any moment, as early as the entry of the pathogen in the body. Now, this non-specific or innate immunity is depend on three factors: genetics, time, and environment. So genetics do decide the immunity profile of offspring. What kind of genes you are inheriting from your parents do decide the immunity profile, the immune profile. Also, the time also decides the immunity. Like in old age, immunity is obviously decreased. It increased from childhood to young age, and it gradually decreased from young age to old age. So time factor is also important with relevance to the innate immunity. And environment, the surrounding environment do have impacts on various factors which decides the immunity of an individual. You will be surprised to know that environment can change the genetics, the inheritance, even changing with the basic material of DNA or in genes. So at the level of genetics, environment can affect immunity or can affect the various traits of immunity in individual. the temperature variations, the weather extremities, the pollution, and various things in weather or surrounding environment do have effect on immunity. So age, environment, and genetics does play an important role in the case of innate immunity. Now you cannot choose in which family I or you take birth. So genetics factor is in not our hand. To some extent, even we can't control the environment also, and time is definitely is in nobody's hand. So basically, innate immunity has its own restrictions in case of genetics, time, and environment. So what can be done to boost this innate immunity to keep it its in normal state? So here comes the second type of immunity, which is acquired immunity. Now, acquired immunity is specific immunity. It does recognizes some specific organisms only, because acquired immunity takes some time to know the threat very well and then act accordingly. The classic example of acquired immunity is vaccination. What we do in vaccination, we introduce the less potent or weakened organism or some kind of disease, say tuberculosis or poliomyelitis, etc. Then we inject it in human body, and as they are less potent, our body makes antibodies against those vaccines. And now acquired immunity has every minute information about that organism, so it stores in its cell as immunological memory, and acquired immunity uses this immunological memory in the future threat. So this is a type of classical acquired immunity. With the help of this vaccination, definitely the contribution of vaccination controlling the epidemics, the pandemics is very much is definitely a blessing to the mankind. With this type of immunity or vaccination, the mankind has achieved control over many major and minor threatening diseases like tuberculosis, poliomyelitis, hepatitis, mumps, rubella, and so on. Definitely, it is increasing still. But there is one thing: vaccination does carries its own hazards, side effects, or complication. Another thing, there are thousands and hundreds of species of viruses, bacteria, and other pathogens. So you cannot invent a vaccine against each and every virus, against each and every microorganism. It is highly practically impossible to vaccinate each and every person against each and every organism. So this is the limit of, this is the drawback of vaccine, drawback of any vaccine. So, so vaccines does have its own limitations, we have seen. After vaccination, the vitamins and antioxidants does have a positive role in boosting the acquired or innate immunity. But again, the synthetic vaccines, synthetic vitamins do have their own restrictions, do have their own limitations to prevent or treat any disease. So what is the holistic solution? What is the holistic way to improve, to boost this immunity? Here comes Ayurveda. In Ayurveda, there is a separate branch which deals with only immunity, with only restoring, regenerating, and regenerating the cells or tissues, or to keep every tissue in its normal state. The branch is called as Rasayana, which in modern term we can call as immunomodulation. Immunomodulation, immunomodulators. Immunomodulation is the most potent tool nowadays to treat or to combat any disease or pathogen. Even the modern science is accepting that medicines and drugs do have their own limitations, and various antibacterials are antibacterials, due to the resistance of bacteria, are losing their popularity among the various doctors, and now everybody is concentrating on preventing the diseases instead of treating them with the drugs or any other molecules. So here comes the role of immunomodulation, rather holistic immunomodulation. Now Ayurveda, the whole and sole purpose of Ayurveda is to basically prevent the disease. Instead of treating it, let's prevent the disease, keep all the organs, systems in their good state of health, and if in future disease happens, treat not only the symptoms but treat the causative factor of that disease. So in this video series, we have today seen the two types of immunity, and in the next episode, we will be starting the Ayurvedic ways to know your immunity, Ayurvedic ways to approach and to modify and to rectify your diet, lifestyle, and other daily regimes also. Thank you. Stay fit, stay home.